Last time on Jaco the Galactic Patrolman. Wait, what? A young Saiyan has been blasted off to Earth. The untimely destruction of planet Vegeta under a meteor has left this kid as perhaps the last Saiyan alive. However, he is dangerous and cannot be allowed on Earth. It is up to Galactic Patrolman Jaco to stop him. Jaco has spent some time on Earth awaiting the Saiyan's arrival and repairing his ship. Will he be able to keep Earth from sure destruction? A new galactic hero is born now. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they Goku for you? What if Goku was raised by the Galactic Patrol?
Jaco talks with Tights, Bulma's sister, as he awaits the Saiyan's pod crash, and finally begins to open up a little about himself. There was a crucial change in this timeline that made a world of difference. Many years ago, Jaco messed up on a mission, and he could have gotten innocent civilians killed if it wasn't for the timely arrival of two senior Galactic Patrol agents, Jaya and Miras. Two other members of the Galactic Patrol who were far more experienced than himself. He felt horrible for putting the civilians in danger, and felt that he would have to turn in his badge. However, when he went on to return the badge to Miras and the Galactic King...
What are you doing with your badge?
Quitting. I failed.
Why did you become a Galactic Patrolman?
I wanted to protect people and bring justice to those who need it.
Miras smiles and tells him that his heart is in the right place, but he needs to train in order to make their dream of peace and justice into reality. After that, Jaco decided to give himself one more chance at becoming a super elite he's always dreamed of being. Jaco was then moved to the Earth's sector, since the previous guy assigned to it had gone missing. Jaya had sent back intel about Earth that would be useful in Jaco's mission. This is Jaco's last chance at being a Galactic Patrolman. This sector was chosen because it's incredibly low risk compared to the most of the universe. It has only one planet with life on it, and the inhabitants of said planet are relatively weak, and they don't even have space travel, at least not to the extent they would like. With this new assignment, Jaco starts to change his whole outlook on life and his job, but most importantly, he's much more focused on protecting people and keeping peace in the galaxy. Most aliens didn't really bother coming back to this backwater planet in the middle of nowhere, but everything changed when he got word about a Saiyan pod attempting to go to Earth. He choked on his space donut and coffee as he immediately punched his ship's coordinates to Earth, but he crashed onto the moon. He ended up in an old man's home, aka the events of his manga, and it was eventually time to finish the mission. This time, unlike the original story, he's completely focused on the sky and rushes into his ship the moment he sees the Saiyan pod crash. He lands and approaches the pod carefully, but it was just a toddler with a pretty low power level. The kid had a tail and was wearing Frieza Force armor, so he was definitely a Saiyan. What was this about? Kakarot didn't attack Jaco, simply staring at him. He looked scared and nervous. Jaco looked right back at the kid, though Jaco was probably more scared. The first thing he did was take the boy out of the pod and try to get him to calm down. The Galactic Patrol didn't take long to clean up the area, and eventually an old man Gohan found it. He just ended up confused at the whole commotion he heard. During the ride back to HQ, Jaco was the one transporting Kakarot, and he saw just how scared he was.
So, you into sports?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Want a donut?
What would they do with Kakarot? Do they lock him up in Space Juvie? Do they put him in Space Orphanage? All the Saiyans had been killed recently because of a meteor crash, so hiding him from Frieza was just risky. Would they just turn him in? The last thing the Galactic Patrol needed right now was a reason to speak to Frieza. This is when Jaco speaks up and offers to look after the child. This shocks everyone, even Jaco himself, except for Miras, who simply smiles. Jaco offers to be his guardian and tells the superiors that he'll do everything under his power to protect the boy and train him to be a worthwhile addition to the force. The other officers doubt these claims, but Jaco gets backup from Miras and Jaya, who has also noticed Jaco's improvement. They vouch for him. The Galactic King doesn't care much, so he just simply dismisses it, and thus Jaco begins to raise Goku. But is this the right choice? At first, Kakarot was really unruly and acted violently, but over time, he began to change and become much sweeter. His name would probably still be Kakarot. Kakarot would either remember it because of the lack of the head bump, or perhaps the Galactic Patrol would give him his own name. For now though, I'll either call him Goku or Kakarot for convenience. The other agents start to warm up to Kakarot over time, especially Miras, who takes a particular interest in the boy after seeing just how quickly he's able to learn. Kakarot becomes somewhat of a mascot for the Galactic Patrol, being the smiling, happy kid that cheers everyone up around him. Kakarot is constantly constantly riding along with Jaco on his spaceship, accompanying him on his missions, and watching him arrest criminals and help people in need. Though Kakarot has this tendency to try and reform criminals, rather than just arrest them, Kakarot gets a great sense of justice. As Jaco continues to complete missions with higher success rates, he gets promoted, along with getting assigned to more areas, and increasing difficulty. Goku also wants to be a Galactic Patrolman someday, but the others want to wait until he's older to train him some more. During times when he's called out for long, dangerous missions, Jaco drops off Kakarot on Earth with Dr. Briefs or Omori, so Kakarot ends up being childhood friends with Bulma. They play together, and Bulma would probably make Kakarot a guinea pig of various experiments. Jaya and Miras also take care of him from time to time. While Goku may end up physically stronger than young Goku, his ki usage wouldn't be nearly as impressive, barely being able to conjure up some ki blasts. He has to rely on his blaster a lot more. Many years pass, and now it's age 749. Jaco is instructed by HQ to undergo a very dangerous top-secret mission that requires him to fly to the other end of the universe and try to spy a little on Frieza. As a backup, he has an extermination bomb. He just hopes he doesn't have to use it. Realizing that he won't be able to bring Kakarot or see him for a while, he takes him to their favorite space diner, where he tells him that he's going to go on an extra important super elite mission, and that he won't see him for a long time. Kakarot gets sad, but Jaco says that he's giving Kakarot his own mission. While Jaco's away, he won't be able to keep an eye on Earth, so it's up to Kakarot to watch over it and protect Earth as an official galactic cadet. Kakarot becomes extremely excited at these news, as Jaco then takes Kakarot to HQ. There, Miras and Jaya brief Kakarot on his mission, along with giving him his own Galactic Patrol uniform, badge, and laser pistol. Kakarot salutes them, telling them that he won't let the Galactic Patrol down.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
I hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you like the stuff I do, there's a way you can support the channel. By clicking the membership button, you will be able to see various tiers. Each one of them has some rewards. My personal favorite ones are the Super Saiyan hair badges that adorn your name in comments and live streams on my channel. The longer you stay a member, the larger the power up. So if you like the stuff I do and feel like supporting me in some way, be sure to check out the membership. Anyways, back to the show.
Back to our show.
The Earth is pretty safe, so nothing too bad could possibly happen there, right? So Jaco drops off Kakarot at Capsule Corp. He tells the cadet to remember his mission, as Kakarot confidently says, "Of course, to protect people and service justice, just like you taught me." Jaco smiles as he tells Dr. Briefs to take care of the kid, and flies off in his spaceship. Bulma welcomes Kakarot back, and even tells him that his arrival couldn't have been at a better time. Kakarot asks what she means by this, wondering in fear if she has another experiment, but then she explains that she's found two strange-looking balls in her attic. Thus, the first arc of Dragonball begins. I'm gonna skip through most of it since we know what happens, and it's worth mentioning that Goku has his flying boots, so he doesn't need the flying Nimbus. Bulma and Kakarot eventually befriend old Gohan, who would take interest in the kid. Goku, being a Saiyan, makes sure to note Gohan's techniques. This starts the spark of ki training for Goku, and he could even learn the Kamehameha from Gohan rather than Roshi. Gohan also carries the Power Pole around with him at all times, and accompanies them on the adventure. But his sense of justice comes first, and thus, he arrests Oolong when they first meet, for kidnapping minors. He arrests Yamcha for committing grand theft, and general thievery. He arrests Master Roshi for many charges. He arrests the Pilaf gang for endangering the planet, and he arrests the Bear Bandit for trying to hunt down turtles without a license. Roshi definitely has the most charges, but Gohan's able to talk Goku into releasing him. And while Yamcha and the Bear Bandit probably spent some time in normal prison, the Pilaf gang could possibly end up at the Galactic Patrol prison, because they tried to endanger a whole planet. Either way, Roshi breaks out of his cuffs anyways. Goku makes Roshi promise to train him if he's to be released. Thus, for at least a few months, Goku trains under Roshi, completing his initial ki control training and making friends with Krillin, whom he also almost arrests for cheating, but instead reforms him into a better person. However, rather than attending the tournament, Goku hears a bank robbery nearby, missing the entry entirely. He goes in to stop it. Gold is spread out everywhere as the robbers attempt to make an escape. A police officer named Shapat sits in the sidelines, waiting for the right moment to strike. And boom. He turns into Cashman, and he proceeds to strike a deal with the bank manager that if he takes care of the robbers and brings back the money in one piece, he'll pay him a lot of money. As Cashman takes care of the robbers, Kakarot arrives, and he assumes that Cashman is the robber. He tells him to freeze, put his hands in the air. Cashman recognizes his uniform as that of a Galactic Patrolman. He gets really excited. Finally, he's saved. he can finally get off this rock. However, Kakarot mistakes this enthusiasm as Cashman preparing for an attack. So, a battle starts, with Cashman surprised at how strong he is for a kid. He takes out his sword in an attempt to intimidate the kid, but Kakarot responds by taking out his staff. During the battle, the robbers attempt to flee with the money. So Cashman tells Kakarot to listen up.
I'm Detective John Cashman. I'm a space cop, you idiot.
Cashman explains everything. He was an old Galactic Patrol agent who got stuck on Earth with no way to escape. Side note, and I guess I'll mention Jaya as well, both him and Cashman are both from different manga that Toriyama worked on. Though Jaya is specifically from the Galactic Patrol and most likely connected to the world of Dragon Ball, Cashman isn't as clear. Though he does belong to a space police station of some kind, there's only loose connections to other Toriyama works. The story of Cashman is basically that he crash lands on Earth, kills a man on accident, takes on his identity, and now needs gold and money to be able to power his spaceship and escape. So now the two aliens work together in order to track down the robbers and take the money back. By using their hover boots, they pursue them into the warehouse. There, a money exchange was about to occur between the Red Ribbon Army and a certain assassin. As the transaction is taking place, Kakarot and Cashman burst into the warehouse by crashing through the window. Kakarot and a dizzy Cashman put them all under arrest, as the robbers tell Tao Pai Pai that they'll give him twice the amount of money if he stops the cops. So, Mercenary Tao agrees, and he proceeds to fight Kakarot and Cashman. Although Kakarot is technically stronger in this story than in the original timeline, he only has some of Roshi's training and none of the fighting experience. Thankfully, Cashman is there to even the odds. At one point, Tao takes out his sword, as Cashman reveals his own. They have an epic sword battle. Oil barrels that were knocked over earlier when Goku crashed through the window catch on fire from a stray Dodonpa that Tao Pai Pai has set off, and nearly the entire building is caught on fire, and all of the money. With no money as price, Tao simply decides to retreat, and the robbers are apprehended by Cashman. However, Tao makes sure to look at both Cashman and Kakarot, telling them that he'll remember their face. Goku knows there's more to this than meets the eye, and as he looks around, he notices a symbol, the Red Ribbon Army. Now as partners, Cashman and Goku swear to take down the army. They end up questioning the robbers. What they say shocks Goku, explaining that they're trying to find the Dragon Balls. This makes things a lot easier. While the tournament is about to end, with a battle between Jackie Chun and Krillin, Kakarot asks Bulma for the Dragon Radar. She gladly gives it to him. He says that this won't take long. Cashman calls his ship, and the two begin to find the Dragon Balls. First, they encounter Silver, making quick work of him and sending him to jail. White is next, and though they have some trouble getting through the Muscle Tower, they end up not only rescuing the village chief, but freeing Ader as well. After White is taken care of, they take that Dragon Ball. The adventure goes on like this for a while, and General Blue causes quite a lot of trouble for the pair. He's even able to destroy their ship for a while. This is when they end up landing at Penguin Village. Thankfully, Senbei ends up fixing their ship, and along with Rayleigh, they make quick work of General Blue. But they finally come face to face once more with Tao Pai Pai. But their adventures had made them much stronger, and the much-awaited rematch didn't last very long. The two save Bora and Upa from his wrath and arrest them, but Bora and Upa tell them about Korin Tower, and although they don't have time right now, they make a point to try and revisit it sometime soon. They want to find just what's up there. With the Pilaf gang in prison, the Red Ribbon Army has no trouble finding the final Dragon Ball. Thus, Cashman and Goku rush their way to the Red Ribbon Army HQ. However, the defeated villains are only staying at regular prison for now, until Goku is able to contact HQ and get them down here. But that plan will have to wait, because Commander Red uses the last of his resources to break everyone out. They all storm the Red Ribbon HQ and waited for Goku and Cashman to arrive. Though they were able to take them all on in a 1v1, things are different when it's an all-out battle. Blue's psychokinesis in particular causes a lot of trouble for Goku, and Tao Pai Pai takes the opportunity to defeat the two. Black, however, tells them to not kill them, just put them in the dungeons. It would be a lot better if they have a public execution once they rule over the world. Eventually, in the middle of the night, Goku wakes up. Cashman has been drawing with chalk on the walls. So this is what it feels like to be in prison, huh? Getting a little taste of their own medicine, I guess. Goku tried to find a way to break out, but neither the Kamehameha nor anything else they had was helping. Meanwhile, the Red Ribbon is having a huge feast in preparation for Shenron's summon. Cashman looks at his watch. the only thing he was left with. And he realized something. The date. Today was supposed to be a full moon. His eyes darted over to Goku's tail, and then he smirked. This was going to be very dangerous, but if he could get his hands on any blade, he would be able to save both Goku and himself while defeating the army. Cashman grabbed Goku and told him, "Look at the full moon." Goku had been told by Jaco not to do this, that this was way too dangerous, but if Cashman thought this was a good idea, then they must be really desperate. And then, his heart began to beat fast. Cashman backed away because boom, the Ozaru was born. Meanwhile, Shenron was summoned. The Red Ribbon Army cheered loudly, but they weren't ready for what the wish was, as Commander Red wished to be a little taller. Everybody gasped. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. Black was indignant and started to walk up to the taller Red. He took the nearest knife and was about to slash through him, but then everything began to shake. Something crashed through the ceiling. It was a ginormous hand. Tao Pai Pai looked up and saw the ginormous face of the Ozaru, with Cashman riding on the shoulder of him, broke a pillar and threw it, riding it up to Cashman. The two started to fight on the shoulder of the monster. He was clearly getting annoyed, firing blasts everywhere. One of the Red Ribbon scientists made sure to sneak away. There was no way the Red Ribbon was surviving this one. The turbulence of the Ozaru made one final punch from Cashman knock over Tao Pai Pai, and though Cashman tried to grab him, he only managed to grab onto the sword, cutting his hand a little. Tao fell down. If he was still alive, he'd be arrested. But for now, Cashman took Tao's blade. Not too long after, he jumped down, cutting through the Ozaru's tail. Goku turned back into a regular kid. As soon as he woke up, Cashman gave him his Galactic Patrol outfit that had been confiscated by the Red Ribbon, as well as his blaster and hover boots. The two arrested everyone that was there, even Tao Pai Pai, whom, after the fall, was nearly unrecognizable. Cashman returned to become Chapat again, and called over his police station. He told them that, with the help of the hero Cashman, they were able to stop the Red Ribbon Army. He got paid a hefty amount afterwards. Goku and Cashman had done it. They had saved the day. Though Goku did admit to missing his tail, and he had a little less balance after this. Not long afterwards, Jaco returned to Earth and picked up Goku. Goku also introduced him to Cashman, whom Jaco said, "Oh, you're still here?" They returned Cashman to the Galactic Patrol, though he said he still wanted to patrol around Earth as his alter ego as well. He said thank you to Bulma and Roshi and everybody else, and promised them that he would train quite a bit and return for the next tournament, since he missed the first one. And sure enough, he traveled the galaxy with Jaco and Cashman, as well as visited Earth every now and then for 3 years, all in preparation for the next World Martial Arts tournament. He didn't do this for himself, not really. Instead, he did it because he wanted to take down the strongest of enemies and serve justice. He took a little break from patrolling in order to go to the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. There, he faced a myriad of enemies, and similarly to the real story, Goku and Tenshinhan fought in the final rounds. It's debatable who would win here, since at this point Goku would probably have enough training to match the regular Goku from our story. Either way, Tenshinhan has a change of heart. Over the 3 years, Goku and Cashman also went up Korin Tower and got that strange training from Master Korin. Krillin is not killed in the story because he never goes back to the tournament arena. Instead, Tambourine crashes through the window of the restaurant and attacks them. Though he gets close to actually defeating a few of the warriors, Goku takes out his blaster and shoots his wing. Tambourine tries to fly away while Goku chases after him. Thankfully, Tambourine doesn't get far away thanks to the damaged wing, and he falls near the beach. Goku doesn't quite recognize this species, but it's clearly alien. He tells him that he's under arrest, but Tambourine says that the evil demon King Piccolo will not stand for this, and a small battle ensues. Though Goku has quite a bit of trouble, he manages to take down Tambourine and arrest him. Though this creature has been taken care of, Goku doesn't know anything about that so-called King Piccolo. He calls on his old partner, Cashman, but he doesn't know anything about it either. He goes back to his friends. Maybe Bulma would know something. After all, she's the smartest person he knows. She doesn't know. However, the old Gohan and old Master Roshi know exactly what he's talking about, and it's just as they feared, the return of King Piccolo. They needed to do something about it quickly. They rush out and start looking everywhere for any clues, and they find that other martial artists that attended the tournament have been killed as well. Goku, Krillin, and Cashman look all over the place, but don't find anything except for corpses. After finding out about this pattern, they see one hover ship above the last person that was killed. That has to be where King Piccolo is, but they can't attack right away. They need to be careful know if Master Roshi's predicament is anything to go by. He must be extremely powerful. They do, however, call on everybody else to come here. To their horror, they watch as King Piccolo summons Shenron. He's about to wish for eternal youth when both Goku and Master Roshi attack. But the wish isn't stopped as Piano recites the wish for King Piccolo, and immediately the old king is returned back to youth. Things just got worse, Master Roshi says, but everybody's ready to fight King Piccolo and the rest of his army. It's an all-out brawl, but thankfully Goku has some senzu beans from the last time he visited Master Korin. He had spread them out amongst the group just in case. The villains are extremely powerful, and Goku has a lot of trouble with King Piccolo, even with Cashman and Master Roshi to help. This was all the Dragon Ball's fault. No doubt, if King Piccolo was still the old man, they'd be able to take him on easier. He had to do something about the Dragon Balls. But that's for later. The battle continued, but both Krillin and Master Roshi were pushed to the edge, near death. Goku rescued them from Drum, but it was clear that they were outmatched. He had to do something about this. He only prayed that it would work. Goku pressed on his wrist and asked for the Galactic Patrol. King Piccolo laughed and continued to beat on Goku, telling his army to let his friends watch as he's killed. Cashman rushes in with his sword, but it's broken in half by Piccolo's nail. He's simply kicked away. Goku's about to be defeated, but something shoots right through Piccolo's arm, and it's Jaya, the Galactic Patrolman. He was the first on the scene, but Jaco, Miras, and the rest of the Galactic Patrol weren't too far behind. Jaya shoots a thumbs up to Goku, and everybody swarms the arena. Miras takes care of the wounded, while the rest of the army destroys Piccolo's own. Piccolo's flabbergasted, but as his forces fall, he's left alone. The whole Galactic Patrol is standing behind Goku. He's still very hurt, and Jaco is helping him up. Miros steps up and simply says that King Piccolo is under arrest. King Piccolo starts to go insane, blasting at things everywhere, even destroying his own ship. Dr. Gero manages to escape just in time, but it's clear that they're not gonna be able to take him down normally. With a heavy heart, Miros directs everyone to shoot at King Piccolo. He's blasted away, but with the last of his breath, he spits out an egg. Jaya catches it and brings it back down. King Piccolo is defeated, but he clearly gave birth to one more offspring. They needed to bring him into the prison, of course, but it starts to hatch pretty soon, and they see that it's just a baby. It looks just like Piccolo, however. Krillin, Roshi, and the rest thank everyone. Even Tien pats Goku in the back, but Goku is focused on something else entirely, and he starts to walk up to the egg. He looks at it, just thinking. There's a clear anger in the baby's eyes, but Goku thinks that he doesn't want to take this egg to prison. He wants to take it to his own planet. Goku screams out at Jaya, asking him what race this baby was, and Jaya says it looks like a Namekian. Goku says that he's going to take the egg there, along with the Dragon Balls. Bulma asks why Kakarot wants to take the Dragon Balls. He replies that they're too dangerous for Earth. They've already caused 3 catastrophic events that he had to stop. They're gonna be stored in the vault. Meanwhile, this baby is going to be raised on its own planet. Jaco even argues a little, but Goku says that isn't this what Jaco did to him? He saved him from a life in prison. Perhaps if raised under the right family, he'd turn out to be a good guy. Everybody stays quiet, but they agree. Master Roshi smiles, and even though he wants to argue with it, because he's seen the destruction that Piccolo can do, he thinks that Kakarot has grown a lot, and thinks that this is a better option. Goku will return in a year, take the Dragon Balls onto the Galactic Patrol, but just as he's about to leave with the baby, a mysterious figure shows up, seemingly another Namekian. Everybody's scared, thinking that King Piccolo had returned, but he tells them to settle down. It's Kami, the god of Earth, and he explains that he will not allow Piccolo to be taken anywhere. He needs to be killed right here, right now. Goku says that no, this kid hasn't done anything wrong. Kami argues that this is the reincarnation of King Piccolo. Goku doesn't care. He knows that he himself was destined to destroy the world and instead was raised to value justice and peace. He will not allow Kami to take him. Kami notices something very important in the kid, a strength like no other, and a conviction he'd never seen before. He does say that if something wrong happens with that kid, he'd have no choice but to end him. Kakarot agrees with a smirk. It's like a new challenge to him. But Kami did watch how him and the rest of the Galactic Patrol destroyed King Piccolo, and even asks Kakarot to go train up with him. Everyone's in awe, because they all feel an intense warmth coming from him. He's clearly very powerful. Goku says that once he comes back for the Dragon Balls, he'd love to. Kami also has problems with him taking the Dragon Balls, but can't argue with the fact that they've caused a lot of trouble. But he knew there was an important connection between this kid and the Dragon Balls. And though his destiny is in outer space and not on Earth, he thinks that he's the greatest hero he's ever met. Not only that, but Kami also wanted to ask more about these Namekians. But it seemed like, just as he suspected, he is not from Earth. He would have to talk to Popo about this later, and think about this at the lookout. Kakarot leaves with Jaco and the others, heading off to planet Namek. It didn't take long afterwards for him to find a new home for Piccolo. One with a man named Muri, though the Grand Elder wanted to see Piccolo first, recognizing him as the child of Kata. He specifically appoints Nail to look after the kid in addition to Muri. Goku asks if he can visit the planet, and the Grand Elder says that of course, anytime. Goku's gonna make sure that this kid is raised right. But for now, there's a galaxy in need of protecting. But that's for next time on Dragon Ball Z. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. This was a lot of fun. I was just reading the Dragon Ball Super manga and I thought, man, I need to write something about the Galactic Patrol, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you want a part 2, share with your friends, and leave a like. That helps so much. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, literally 5,000 away. So keep sharing, keep subscribing, and let's get our power level to 100,000. Shout out to these guys who answered the Dragon Ball question of the week last week. The Dragon Ball question of the week this week is, if you could choose any character to join the Galactic Patrol, who would you choose? I think besides Goku, I would honestly probably choose Krillin, because he's already a police officer on Earth, so I'd love to see him in a more intergalactic scale. I think that'd be really cool. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to SmugStick, unless you want to be destroyed.
Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.